right, at this time, we'll call to order the Board of Public Works, August 11th, 2025. Betty, roll, please.
Mayor Boyd.
I'm here.
Alderperson Carpenter.
Here.
Alderperson Hanson.
Here.
Alderperson Ledvina. Here. Alderperson Estacon.
Here.
All here. Let's go to the items. Item 1, approval of the June 9th, 2025 Board of Public Works meeting minutes. I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion by me. Let's go backwards, all right? Let's just go back. Forget what just happened. Up next, public comment on matters not on the agenda. Comments made during the public comment period shall pertain only to matters under the jurisdiction of the Board of Public Works. Anyone in person or virtually have any public comment upon matters not on the agenda? There's no one in person. So in virtual land, is there anyone out there that has any public comment upon matters not on the agenda? If so, just state your name. There's no one there, so I'm just going to close that right now. I'm going to move to the first item, approval of the June 9th, 2025 Board of Public Works meeting minutes. I'll make a motion to approve.
And I will second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Carpenter. Any discussion or comments? Alderperson Hanson, are you good?
I'm good, thank you.
Great. That said, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 2, consideration and possible action on entrance signs. Tony.
At the March 10th, 2025 board meeting, there was a discussion related to the proposal of installing one or more of the new welcome signs in the city.
Is his mic on? Is your mic on? Okay, good. No worries.
The city staff and branding team worked through some designs that can be affixed to the existing 15 population signs. Those have been included in your packet, the 2 that they came down to. And the cost of the signs, including potential hardware and wood posts, with these signs being a little larger, we would need to replace the existing 4x6 posts in most cases, which the population signs are affixed to, for this to be have enough height to put it on top, as well as the width of the structure. Some population signs may only be on one post at the current time, but with the entrances at the entrances of the city, there's a lot of wind and whatnot. So with that, the signs would be roughly about $200 each. That includes the new existing 4x6 posts, as well as any hardware associated with it. Total estimated cost roughly around $3,000 to affix these to the existing population signs. So at this time, city staff recommends that the board decides whether or not they want to move forward with the sign request, and if so, which sign to proceed with, and then the sign cost would have to be included in the next year's budget, 26 million.
All right, thank you. So we have 2 questions there. Do you want to go ahead with this, and what are we going to pick? We can open up with anyone. You can speak freely here. Alderperson Ledvina.
How big is that sign?
I don't have the specific. I believe it's 18 by 24 on the 24 wide, 18 tall.
Okay.
I believe that's what the population signs are, 24 wide, but not quite as large.
Well, I mean, just think of the signs. Are they similar to the sign size that we have right now?
They're similar.
Yeah.
We could make them really at any size, whatever the aluminum blank that we can get from Rent-A-Flash. So if it's a 20 by 30 or an 18 by 24, I mean, there's the options for us. We can make up to a 4 by 4 with our sign printer,
Sure.
size-wise. So we do have some flexibility. I think they would want to be consistent in size, at least width-wise, with the population without taking over.
Sure.
But the height could be adjusted depending on the layout.
Okay. Yeah. I like the idea, and I like the sign on the right.
Yep.
I just worry that it might look too cluttered if it's too small. It might be hard to read, but I feel like an 18 by 24 is a pretty decent size.
I like the idea, but I like the one on the left because it's too cluttered on the right.
Yeah.
Because we have those welcome signs that pretty much mirror that already, and they'll be very close to them, if that makes sense. Tony?
We have 5 of the welcome signs that are we have Main Avenue, North Broadway, North Ashland,
Webster,
and 57 and Rockland Road.
57 and Rockland.
So there would be 10 locations that don't have this, the existing large welcome sign as well.
Okay. Well, we've heard from you and I also want to jump in here. Alderperson Essercon.
I agree. The one on the right seems cluttered and
Yeah.
busy.
I think at the right, we're referring to the one that says De Pere welcomes you.
Yes.
Okay, so we're on the, with the buildings and kind of what we have right now. Okay, go ahead.
And then
Alderperson
the one
Essercon.
on the left then seems almost too empty. I would actually shrink that one, make that one shorter.
Oh, so it's not as much space.
Yes.
And you like the color, because we're trying to incorporate the color with that. Was
Color, I would, me personally, I would just make the blue a little less. I would just make the sign less tall.
Thank you. Alderperson Carpenter, everyone's going to jump in on this.
Yeah, I am going to say, I'm going to go with Shayna. Otherwise, we might as well get rid of our logo that we brought to the city.
All right, very good. That's quite good. I didn't expect that out of you. Alderperson Hanson.
I like the one on the right. I know it does look a little cluttered, but our big entrance signs also have that same skyline, so it would match that. I think the one on the left is too boring, to be honest. There's no city logo on it or anything. It's just the font, so I vote for the one on the right.
Okie dokie. I'm just thinking, what do our entrance signs look like?
Right here.
Just trying to bring it up.
It's on the,
They're cute.
it's actually, click on that third one. Oh, sorry, go back.
Is the welcomes you part of the logo?
It's in the packet there.
Oh, it's in the packet.
Yeah, so go.
Oh, okay, go in the packet.
Yeah,
Go in the packet.
the third CI,
It's up.
BOPW, there you go.
No.
I got it up on the
Where?
screens.
See it up there?
Keep going.
Oh,
It says
keep
welcome
going?
to in the little yellow circle.
Right here, Mayor.
I'm going as far as I can.
You're on a single page.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'm just looking here. So we're going to have that, and if we have the other one, they're right next to each other in five locations. And there's 10 will just be by themselves, is what I think you had said, right?
Correct.
Correct. Okay, just trying to let that sink in. And does it say welcome to De Pere on that thing? Or is that what it says on the top? It's kind of blurry.
Up here, yep, welcome
Yep.
to.
I'm just throwing this out to people.
What if you only made 10 instead of 15?
Yeah,
Kept just the population sign by.
So, question.
go ahead.
If staff took this and made up a sign, what they thought, and what they thought would be the right sizes, couldn't they make up two and we can find some money, or I'll have to pay for something so we can get one and know what's going to go on the poles? Instead of looking at this and trying to figure everything out, could we make one of each? And if they think it needs to be bigger, as what Tony just said, and then bring it back to us.
Is that possible?
Yes.
Because we don't need to make the decision right now,
No,
obviously. And you wanted some input anyways,
Yeah.
or not?
I mean, this way, if you had all your signs, the population with bring it in and we
Scott?
make it easier to
So
see.
just a question for staff is it possible to have these example signs made by the council meeting next Tuesday? Because this does go to council. The reason I'm saying it, because if the council wants to move forward in the budget, my budget's, I gotta submit it by Thursday. So, I mean, it's just something.
Them $3,000 aren't gonna break you. Scott.
Yeah, but we can alter, I mean, that budget, we still have 2 months.
So
where
do you
we
want it to come back to the board here?
I'm trying to think now. It's a really good point. So then it would come back, we're in August right now. It would come back in September. We get the
Yeah,
budget,
September.
we get the budget documents in, the draft in October,
Yeah,
correct? And we're meeting with people all the way through September, right?
August.
Tony will get it done. He's a great guy.
I can get it done by Tuesday.
Fair enough.
There you
That's
go.
cool. Sound good?
Yeah, it sounds great to me.
So it sounds like everyone's in agreement that new signs, correct, Alderperson Hanson? We want something.
Yes.
Alderperson
Yes,
Hanson?
we want new
Okay.
signs.
Are you okay then with them
Yep.
bringing back samples to the council meeting on Tuesday?
Yes, I am. I also wonder if there could be a third option where, like, the font on the left, but then have like a circular city logo next to it, or if it's too late to do any more mock-ups.
Do you guys understand what he's asking?
Like the street sign kind of.
Yes, I understand. Not on the branding committee, but I believe Betty is and was a part of it. They probably went through
30 different-
100 different designs that got zeroed down to these two. So I don't know how feasible that is. Not saying it's not, but the team put that all together and came to these two designs. The city's branding team.
Alderperson Hanson?
Okay, that's fine. We can just stick with these two then.
Yeah, because there was a lot of time put in that, so yeah, that's true. Other questions or comments? Do we have enough information? Yes, go ahead.
One more question. Do we want these affixed to the aluminum blanks, or do you want them just printed on the just to see the physical size? You know, if I don't have the blank from Renewal, if I have one, I can do it. If I don't, you'd be good with just the printed size of what we believe.
Yeah.
You guys okay with that?
Yeah, because you'll be able to get to understand your clutter or no clutter, you know what I
True.
mean?
Yep.
I'm
Correct.
Perfect. Alderperson Hanson, good?
Yep, all sounds good. Thanks.
Awesome. That's good. And we need no action on that. You understand what's going on, correct?
You gotta make a recommendation with the council. It's supposed to council.
I'll move to move this item to council on Tuesday with sample signs for council to consider. Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Ledvenda. Any questions or comments on that? All right, that said, all those in favor say aye.
I
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 3, consideration and possible action on yard waste site security and monitoring. Tony again.
The city's constructing a new yard waste drop-off site on the east side of 2000 Commerce Drive. As part of the site, we're going to have to review the security and monitoring. This site, being newly developed, will have certain planning and code regulations. It'll require an 8-foot tall security fence that will also be completely enclosed with most likely a composite board to be in compliance. With that, it'll have sliding gates similar to what we currently have at our municipal service center. One note that I want to make a point of is that there's been some minor changes with some information since this memo was placed and sent out as it relates to the license plate reader. But the intent of this is to how do we want to proceed forward with monitoring the security of our yard waste site now that the town of Ledgeview is backing out at the end of the year. Currently, the city utilizes Verkada's security cameras throughout the city, and talking to the police chief, that is, and Steve Massey, our IT director. It's a very high quality system that they've used throughout, and it would be easy to incorporate into monitoring with camera system for both security and monitoring for improper dumping and whatnot. One of the mentions in here was the license plate reader. At a previous meeting, the company believed that we were under the impression that was an option that we could register vehicles and have the vehicle license plate, when it's recognized by the camera system, open the gate. Later, it was determined that that was intended more for city staff vehicles versus the entire city and whatnot. But I've included approximately 3 different options in here. One of which is taking away the license plate reader aspect is still the swipe card system, which would be a security system. Gate would be shut. We would have access very similar to the Nelson Pavilion, where the bathrooms and whatnot are all on access, internet access, where we can open and close the gate. We could restrict the timing of the gate. But with that, card access is roughly a cost of a $15 swipe card. Very similar to what you utilize to get into the city hall buildings and whatnot. That cost for the card would determine how that would get passed on. Another option would be staffing it. In the past, I understand back in the mid-2000s, it was staffed 7 hours roughly a day. If we did hire someone and staff them at that time, I included in there roughly what that cost would be annually. I have a feeling that we would want to close during the winter hours when we're not having much use for it. In addition to that, the residents would have to become adaptive to what those hours would be compared to what it is now. Another option would be a do nothing status quo, similar to what is kind of out there at this time. While we do have signage and whatnot, we don't really have a lot of control over who's disposing of items and what they're disposing until after the fact. So the 3 options would be the Verkada system, which is the swipe card system. As proposed in that, the resident would come in annually, one time to get a swipe card here, depending on what you'd approve.
That's what a lot of people do though.
Pay $15 for the card, register their vehicle, their address. Every year that card would end at the end of the year. This is similar to what other places are incorporating. They would renew the card, whether it be online or in person. And that way, at the end of the year, if they happen to move to another community, the card's no longer valid, they're not passing it around and whatnot. But by having the resident come in and physically get the card, it gives us an opportunity to provide information on the Yardway site, what we do with the material, what's accepted at the place, so that there's not any of the misconceptions as to what you can bring there, and then we end up having disposed of certain items. It would keep the site, have an opportunity to close the site at a specific time if we only want to have certain operating hours. A simple computer stroke can change when the site would be allowed to be accessed, but there wouldn't need to physically be anyone currently at the location. So what staff is recommending is the installation of those three, is the installation of the Verkada system, taking away the license plate reader aspect, but having the swipe card access for residents to monitor. It ensures that we're allowing only city residents into the site, and especially with the Town of Ledgeview no longer participating, the education process of their residents being able to understand that they can no longer come in there. We anticipate at the end of the year, the new site will be open and operational. And at that point, at the end of the year, when we move, be a great opportunity to shut down the out-of-town access. This would be one way to do it. There's still some areas where we want to work through as far as renters and tenants and things of that nature. Some other aspects could be, people may be have more than one vehicle and whatnot, but if we register that card to that address and get their vehicles, a lot of that stuff with the camera system, we could monitor if there was going to be any type of violations, having the cameras and the access controlling who's allowed. So basically, staff has recommended the installation of that Verkada system with the swipe access for monitoring, recommending a $15 fee, one-time fee to the resident to cover the cost of the card. The card is roughly, at this time, the last time they ordered, they were $12 just to cover that swipe.
Sounds good. A lot of information, people. Are you ready? So here we go. Alderperson Ledman.
So to be clear, they would have to come in the first time to get the card in person.
Correct.
And then to annually renew it, would they have to come in person?
I don't believe so. That's something I would work with Betty and staff. We were talking briefly about it, that the first time coming in, it's kind of similar to new residents in some of our mailbox cluster neighborhoods where they come in and get their key and things of that nature for the mailbox. They have to physically come in and get it. It'd be that situation where we'd have an opportunity to explain the Yardway site, give them the swipe pass, get the information of their plates and stuff. I do believe in talking to staff that the online aspect for the renewal, we'd be able to verify if they moved by our Brown County land records. If you were to re-register and you still own that property, we would just reactivate the card and everything would be good. If we happen to look and now you're living in Howard, we'd at least have a contact number that we should be able to call and figure out what's going on.
Okay.
Did we pay, I'm sorry, I'll just jump in quick. When we got our garbage cans and stuff, recycling bins, did we pay something for that?
Yes.
When we went that route? Didn't we do that years ago?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just checking. So it's not uncommon to pay for something new. I thought we did. Other questions or comments?
I had one, but I lost it. That's comes with age.
Because of what I just said.
No.
Alderperson Hanson, do you have something out there?
I think I'd hear it in a minute.
Yeah, sorry, I was a little hard to hear, but the license plate reader, we would not do that then, just the card, or would we do both?
The understanding from Camera Corner and Chief Muraski discussing this week was that their intent, Camera Corner believed it was just for staff vehicles and not necessarily for the entire residents. So they stated that they would be only able to suffice or to provide the license plate reader for staff vehicles. I don't know if it just got to be too much information downloaded into the system or just the ability to put it in and out, but Camera Corner had said no. Earlier in a previous meeting, we were under the impression that we would be able to, but, so we'd be looking more for the swipe access card at this time.
If we would go.
Okay, because yeah, in the memo it seemed. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, in the memo it seemed like either one could be an option. So if someone wanted to save like the $15 a year and not get the swipe card and just use the license plate reader, that could be an option if they're willing to agree to that. But if that's no longer, if we don't have the capability to do that, then I would be okay with the swipe card. What would the annual renewal fee be, though?
Well, on the first one, the memo, when I wrote and submitted the memo last week, I got an email after it was submitted that clarified the license plate reader. That's why it's different than what the memo. I guess the renewal wouldn't have to have any fee because they've already got the card. It would just be staff reactivating the fee. I did put in there a proposal of a lost or stolen card and the admin time of having to renew a card that was lost or stolen, but I believe just an annual renewal should be free.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's all I have. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you. One thing I would think we may have to still do is kind of a hybrid thing. Would there be a human out there at least for the first few months, so the system kind of works and properly, and the Ledgeview folks don't come in? They shouldn't with the gate.
They can't with the gate.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think we're open to a lot of ideas as to the education process of coming to the fall of this year when we're looking to move is the signage out there, the message boards out there, potentially any light duty staff that we could put out there to try and pass the message of what the next phase is of these yardway sites and the transferring over and Ledgeview not coming. I think everything's on the table as far as what we can manage with core services and getting out there to get the message out, whether it's rubbish, if I could get our rubbish attendants that may want to help us out since rubbish will be closed to go out there. But
I guess the next big question is Ledgeview done about the same time with their new site?
they're going to, I don't know when their site's going to be built, but they're obviously the end of the year, they're finished with us, so wherever they go.
So whatever, I mean, it's up to them to have it finished for their residents. Yeah, I would think we'd want some kind of hybrid, at least to have a human being out there for a few months, in addition to the swipe cards if we go that route. Alderperson Carpenter.
So is Brush going to be allowed to come to this?
Yes.
So that's where my question comes. So at the end of the year, December is when Ledgeview is done and we're going to be going. So when you say the closing in the winter months, I mean, some people might want to bring their Christmas tree is what I'm just going to say. So I don't know when you were planning on the closing of that was my one question. And then to get people new cards, that's a good idea. I like the swipe card, but you're going to have to offer a lot of time for people to come, like a Saturday, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're bringing in something and just to really keep battle off the fight. I just want you to know you might have to have hours. People work and people have tell you every reason why they can't make it. So I just wanted you to be prepared.
Is it possible to mail the cards?
They didn't want
I guess anything's possible. I mean, do it online. Say you want a card, get it sent to you. I mean, rather than a person going there. I mean, I'm just throwing things out.
Yeah.
Think anything's possible?
I think that should be a possibility.
Yeah. If they can
The whole
do
idea
that,
is to make this as convenient as possible for the residents, Scott?
What I guess what we're trying to get from the board is direction. If the direction of the board is the swipe cards, then we'll have to start brainstorming, and everything like Tony said is on the table. How we get the cards, the training, education, that sort of thing, because then we can start pursuing that path, knowing we're going with the cards, because there's still a little bit of research we got to do on our end, how to implement the system. But at least we can start concentrating the efforts on there versus, no
Invent
site
everything
attendance.
right now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine. Tony?
To answer Alderperson Carpenter's question, the site doesn't need to be closed, or it could be closed. I think that the closure, if we went to staffed, may not get your most bang for your dollar in the winter months with staffing and the minimal amount of Christmas trees coming.
Right.
If it is a swipe card where it is controlled by the city resident to use it in January and that works,
So be it.
I don't think there's any.
It shouldn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just looking more of different options of if it got to having to pay someone to be there for one person all day, it may be more of a challenge than justification wise.
I think the swipe card is the answer to go to
Great.
because as you list in your stuff here, not to say anything bad, but you got employees, and now you got to manage those employees and everything else. And somebody's sick and this comes up and it's just, you make it a card, swipe in, you just go to the gate and you get in. I assume the gate would be one of those that, well, you're not going to have a timer on it if we're talking that. If you had a timer where it was locked out, and once a person was in and all of a sudden the time went off, that they drive up to it and pop open.
Yeah, how do you get out then?
They pop open most
Yeah,
gates.
There's free exit loops in there, so as you pull up to the gate,
It would
the
open.
gate will open on its own.
Okay.
If you're on the
So it's
inside,
gonna
you
be
can always
closed
get out.
everywhere. Someone can't come in.
On the inside.
Yeah, you can never get stuck on the inside. Yes, I just was going to say that, but yes.
I would still like to explore having, because I'll make a motion or someone will eventually, of having a human being there for the first 3 months or so, just to help smooth things out. So I'm not sure if everyone's okay with, I'm going to make the motion at least to explore.
I have,
You okay with that? So I'm going to make a motion right now that we go, I'll make a motion that we go with the, see if I get this right, the swipe cards at a cost of, to be determined. And then in addition, to have at least 3-month coverage of staff the first 3 months of operation. And for discussion, I made a motion, seconded by Alderperson Ledman. Discussion or comments on the motion?
so if
Alderperson Carpenter, and then I'll go to Scott.
you're going to have staff doing that, are you going to have certain hours? Once again, that's going to have to be in their discussion and figuring out then staff is how they're going to man that. If it's going to be working hours, are you going to be, because if you're bringing on somebody, an employee again, you're either going to pay overtime or you're going to switch
Right.
hours. You're going to figure out something, but I'm not against it at all.
No, I hear you. Scott?
I mean, one of the first things with the talking about having this, somebody out there to assist in education, the first question I'd throw back at the board, I don't believe we want it open access 12 months of the year. I believe just in the growing season. So I mean, maybe it's similar to the rubbish where it's April 1st to November 30th or that time frame. Because, for example, we're looking at April 1st, then we can start planning, for that first, April, May, June for the educational part. And as far as the access and the other thing, we have to work out what are the hours you want there. Right now, there are gates open all the time, so people technically go in there whenever they want. Do we have it limited? I mean, you're only going to be 6 to 6, or because as it gets darker, we don't want people in there. So I mean, that'd be another thing we got to work out. And as far as what the elected officials want us to do, as far as when people can use the site.
Yeah, mine's an idea, so at least explore it and see what it looks like and bring back options of hours and see what they want to do.
On that note, can we get maybe a flavor of what you guys are looking for? There's a lot of options that we can bring back, but what you guys feel comfortable, operational hours to allow access into it?
Didn't you have hours in here?
I think dusk to dawn, or whatever you want to say.
Daylight.
Daylight to nighttime. I mean, you ain't going to be exact, but if you said,
It says 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Would that be okay? That's,
no, I think it should be earlier in the morning in case somebody's going to go to work and want to drop something off.
6 a.m. to 8 p.m.
6 a.m. to 8 p.m.? I'm cool with that. We'll start with that.
If it's the swiper, and we can just program it to be dawn to dusk, right? We just-
Right.
Correct.
But if we want a human there just for a little bit, just for that sake of it, we can say that. Okay. Does that give information then?
Yep.
Does that help? Okay. So what happens next then? We have this information. We make this motion. We have a motion in a second, right? Then what happens next?
I believe that we could proceed to council with the recommendation for the Ricotta swipe system. And then we'll put together a plan as to the hours of operation and the layout of mailings, mailing out card, more of the logistical aspects
Cool.
of how this could work,
Great.
and then bring that back.
Scott?
And the only thing that we'll have to look at is, we're having 3 months of staff out there, whether it's seasonal or stuff, so as I put our, yard waste, or it's actually in a brush collection budget together, we'll probably have some additional hours in there, because what Tony's talking about, as far as the system we're putting in it, it's already incorporated in the budget we had for construction of it. So, getting cards, all that stuff was part of that budget, but adding staff time out there is not in that budget. So that'll be included as part of the proposal.
How much did we say you're charging for the card? We don't know that quite yet, but
I put in 15 because I guess the previous cards we just purchased were 12, so I'm playing.
so you generate revenue that way.
Yep. So when you bring it back, Scott, we can debate that 3 months too.
Yeah.
That could go
That's
drop,
true. It
that
was
could
just-
drop down to 1 month, and we could say
It was just
something
a
else.
thought, yep.
So that can be debated at another time. This is just.
You are correct. Alderperson Hanson, anything else?
No, I have nothing to add. Thanks.
All right. Okay, I think we're all set to vote. That said, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Where am I now? Item 4. Consider and possible action regarding West Side New Yard Waste Site. Scott.
So we're talking about yard waste site, let's talk about the west side. As Tony indicated earlier, now with Ledgeview not participating, we'll have approximately 30% less volume at that specific yard waste. So the council, the board and council had given direction, and we budgeted for it to put a site on the east side and the west side. In your packet, it shows where the actual west side was being proposed and still proposed. During the design process, because that's where we're at right now, there's some wetlands that have to be mitigated as part of it. So there's an additional cost of approximately $75,000 that we would have to actually incorporate into the project, so we can basically get rid of the wetlands to build the yard waste site accordingly to fit that site. As also part of the process, the last 4 to 6 weeks, I did get indication from the town of Lawrence that has expressed interest in partnering with the city on this site. So it'll be similar, I would imagine, when we partnered with Ledgeview. It'll be a joint municipal agreement on that part. So we do have that interest at stake with them. So really, the intent of the discussion with the board is kind of bring it forward. This is a snag we hit with the wetlands, additional costs we weren't anticipating, and kind of discuss, what the board wants to do moving forward. If we should, just stick with the east side or pursue the west side as originally planned, and then fund wetland mitigation.
Real quick here, what's the cost before the mitigation stuff we have to do if we do it?
I don't have that
Okay, I'm looking around
offhand.
here. Okay.
Just one quick question then.
Alderperson Carpenter.
So the site's the same size, how big is the east side site?
Correct.
About the same size.
Correct. Oh, this site is a little bit larger than east side site,
So
acreage wise.
give it, whatever, what does the east side cost, and add some dollars to it?
Yeah. We actually have to do some additional dirt work at this site compared to the other, so might be that, apple for apple on that.
Do we have cost of any of that in here? And there's a lot of tabs.
I don't believe we do, I'll be honest with you.
So what, does anybody have off the top of their head what the east side is costing totally at the end of the day?
I can pull that up, that'd be Chase to it.
Alderperson Hanson, we're just kind of fumbling around
Gotcha.
here. Any questions you have before we kind of move ahead here?
It's a-
About
No, I do
500.
not. Thank you, though.
500.
$500,000.
Scott, $500,000.
500 for,
The east side
East
was
side?
just under $500,000.
okay, thanks.
And that doesn't include the access gates or anything like that, correct?
Correct. That was just the project. alert.
So we're assuming the west side is
Probably 3/4 of a mil.
With the access
with,
gate?
with the access gates and the mitigation?
Oh, well, for the, Cause we're gonna be another $100,000 or so for the access gate, so you're probably looking at close to $1 million with the wetland mitigation,
Total. Yeah.
approximately.
So, well, I'm lost on numbers then. 500,000 over there, the gate's another, and fencing is 100,000?
With the gate system.
So east side's costing 600,000. Would that be a fair, or give me,
That's before we talk about the wetlands.
the east side is 600,000?
Yeah.
East side about 600.
So then the wetlands, 80,000 here, so now that puts you at 680, 700,000. Let's just use a number. I don't know where $1 million came in.
Oh, he's asking where the million came in.
It's a lot larger site. I believe this was 4+ acres and we were 2.5 acres on the east side.
Okay, I'm just asking.
0.8 and 2.4,
Oh, it's that much different.
Yeah.
or 2.7,
Yeah.
4.8, something like almost double.
So this is, not to say it because east side's starting right now, but we didn't know that you was dropping out. I know all this stuff. We would have been better off going with the larger site instead of the smaller site
On the west side.
in hindsight. Because now if you're choosing not to have a west side compost site, you got a pretty small site. Even though you're dropping off Ledgeview, I'm just trying to say, because I know
And the
where,
assumption is Lawrence probably wouldn't come along to the east side.
no, Lawrence, that would be my assumption, Lawrence wouldn't come along to that. And my assumption is that a lot of west siders are going to Lawrence right now. And that's what Lawrence is going to put a kibosh to something. I can tell you that right now. That, there's a discussion being going on, just like we don't want Ledgeview coming in, you don't want to be in your deals, in with the flavor or whatever it is. And if Lawrence chooses not to be in, if we went with the west side, they'll have to come up with their own figure out. You know what I mean? It's all, whatever, these communities have it.
Right. I
So-
assume right now they have their own anyways, don't they?
Yes, they do, and this is some of the issues.
Right.
Because theirs is right at their shop, and that's close to a lot of people
This is very convenient for them then.
to go to the town of Lawrence, and they have no gates, they have nothing either, just like years ago, we didn't have anything going on, and anybody could just drop off. And they know that. I mean, it's pretty simple to figure out. We got a lot of new homes that went right in by the town of Lawrence.
So this threw a whole little wrench in this whole discussion. We were originally just going to see if we wanted to continue, with the mitigation efforts and pay for that. Now we've kind of circled to like, do we still need it or want it? Great, huh? Alderperson Hanson, anything?
I support doing the wetland mitigation. I think it'd be good to have it on both sides. Do we know kind of what share Town of Lawrence would pay for it?
I would imagine population-wise or similar to Ledgeview. Ledgeview's share is approximately 30% of the cost right now. So potentially operational cost, it would be approximately 30%. And I know when we were entering with Ledgeview, we were going to spread that cost over, I think maybe a 20-year period. So whatever the dollar amount, say it was $1 million, 30% of that's 300, so that'd be shared over a 20-year period.
Alderperson Carpenter?
So that was, they were gonna, the original cost to build it, they were gonna, over 20 years, help to pay.
That was agreement for Ledgeview.
That was the agreement, okay. That's just, thank you.
I mean, I guess the other side is, we're going to grow. That's pretty certain, with the south bridge and the connector on both sides. Probably considerably on the east side more so than the west, but we don't know that. It could be vice versa. Who knows? So the growth could be considerable, and that would yield two-way sites. Scott?
And what I do want to point out, it's in the email that from the town of Lawrence, they would like to have something in place, from the city for a potential agreement by the end of 25, because they want to relocate their location because they had other plans for that site where it exists now. So they're kind of, I guess, very interested to partner with us on this.
Yes, and in that you had that in the memo. And yes, yes, I mean, if it doesn't get done till 2026, I don't think that's
No.
changing anything.
I mean, I agree with Alderperson Hanson. We've kind of advertised this. We can do what we want, but having it on both sides, I'm not adverse to. And having a partner with Lawrence is extremely helpful. I wish Ledgeview was still on, but they're not, and it just is what it is. But I also agree that if we go to the one side and the east side, that probably won't accommodate, the needs. Do you guys have any questions? Oh, sorry. We take any nuggets you can provide. Anything. That's perfect. Well, to moving on, I make a motion to, again, I don't have numbers in front of me to say anything, but to continue the west side yard waste site with mitigation needed. But I don't have a cost in front of me. Hopefully by council we'll have some numbers. Alderperson Essercon.
So it's proposed west side location. Are there other options to look at, or are we too far down the road to look at?
I believe that's the only option we have. Correct? I think that's all we have.
Correct, because we were looking for different sites, just a history on it, to find something within our corporate limits. We were very limited. This is probably our only west side site. And then on the east side, we were looking at, and that was part of the discussion with Ledgeview, was going outside of the community, but with the community survey and other things and the discussion that the board and council we had, we wanted to keep it within the corporate limits. So the site we got was kind of incorporated into the east side industrial park, because that's, just on the north side of the Y site. And so we kind of carved that out just for a satellite yard waste site.
But I do get his question though. So based on how I do the motion, because it does say in here possible yard waste site. So I have to make sure we phrase this properly. We already have the site picked. So we're making a motion to proceed with the west side.
Proposed west side site.
Proposed west side site?
Yeah.
Okay, we still have to say that, huh? And mitigation efforts.
And I'll second that.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Carpenter. Based on that, additional discussion or comments? Alderperson Carpenter.
So what you have in this memo, the 75,000 is what you pretty much think it's good.
That's what the DNR kind of gave us a ballpark.
So your number is 75,000 for the wetlands.
Okay, that's good. So we have that number. All right, Alderperson Hanson. Anything else?
No, I do not have anything else. Thanks.
All right. That said, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 5, consideration and possible action on HydroCorp commercial cross-connection inspection contract renewal.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson Ledvina. Any discussion or comments? I believe is that Chase or is that Eric? Oh, anything for Eric? Sorry, Eric, we have none. Hi.
You guys didn't even need to have my camera working tonight, Mayor, and it actually is for once. Can you
And by
believe
the
it?
way, you look good and you sound good, Eric. Both. Alderperson Carpenter.
Thanks so much.
He's good
You
now,
concur?
otherwise you'd have to start attending meetings.
This must be the new screens we got and the new system we got installed. So thanks to everybody. That said, all those in favor
It's
say
the
aye.
IT department, IT department.
Aye.
Aye.
Alderperson Hanson?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Eric, thank you very much for sticking around. He's gone. Item 6, discuss water main infrastructure.
So Alderperson Carpenter requested a discussion at the board regarding the city's existing water main infrastructure. So one of the things that we have to do annually, we have to report our system to the Public Service Commission, or PSC, on an annual basis. One of the things that's in the report, it always includes information on the city's existing water main. I do have in your board packet from the 2024 PSC report pertaining to the age and material types of the water main. We have approximately 678,514 lineal feet of water main. This past year, we retired 7,716 lineal feet. What that means is we basically replaced existing water main with new water main. The total PVC water main is approximately 485,926 linear feet, or 71.6%. And the total non-PVC water main is 192,588 linear feet, or roughly 28.4%. One of the things we actually do on a regular basis for our water main relay, and we're averaging about 8,000 linear feet a year, we're always replacing I call it our metal pipe, whether it's either ductile iron or cast iron. That's the type of pipe that actually deteriorates due to our clay soils. The clay soils is very corrosive to metal pipe, and part of the reason for the decay in the water main and causing the water main breaks. Ultimately, like I said, we try to budget for, we've been doing about 8,000 linear feet per year. So kind of quick math, if we did 8,000 linear feet per year, it would take another 24 years to replace all the non-PVC pipe. One of the things to kind of discuss is, in my tenure here, the council and the board have been very good at funding the water utility for maintaining our existing infrastructure, from not only our water mains, but our towers, our buildings, and that sort of thing. So, in fact, we actually, every 3 years, the DNR does a full, what we call a sanitary survey. And what they do is, it's about a 6 to 8 hour ordeal with Eric and his team and myself included. They go through every practically inch of the system, mapping the facilities, that sort of thing, kind of tell us our deficiencies, what we need to do, not do, recommendation, that sort of thing. And basically in the last inspection they did, the DNR said the city's drinking water system is in excellent condition and the city's operators should be commended. So I know there's been questions in the past, and I think that's why Alderperson Carpenter want to bring it up. Our water infrastructure system is in pretty good shape, a lot better shape than a lot of communities in the state, even in the area. In fact, I mean, you hear the stories about the communities that have lead service issues. We only have one lead service that we're known of. A lot of communities that, smaller communities, they have all kinds of lead services. So, I mean, stuff like that, we're in great shape on. One of the things we try to keep doing and being aggressive on the water main replacement, is what the PSC recommends that typically you try to get 1.5% to 2% of your water main replaced every year. And that's because typically your water main is anywhere from a 60, 70, 80-year life. So, I mean, if you look at what we have, percentage-wise and how many feet, 8,000 linear feet, we're only doing about maybe 1.5%, if that. So, I mean, we're not even, replacing the fact that what it takes for the life of the main. Now, PVC main is somewhat new. It has been started in the 70s. And installation, as far as, in the industry, I'm not sure when De Pere started. I know probably early 90s. Maybe Dan would have some, or Alderperson Carpenter may have more information on it. PVC, right now they're saying, according to the American Water Works Association, that's a 70-year life. Some thinks it could last longer than that. But our goal right now, as far as the water main infrastructure, is really the water mains is just to keep replacing the metal pipe. So that's all I got to present to the board.
This was very informative. Alderperson Carpenter, you want to share some more?
No, I was just going to say thank you very much, Scott. It's just sometimes it gets pushed out here like our system is old and failing, or just sometimes you hear comments, right. and it's actually in great shape. And yes, we were one of the first communities to put a plastic water main in the West Side Industrial Park because we were fools and we didn't put tracer line on because we didn't know better at that time.
Yeah, I think this was very informative. I'm reading through some of the stuff. So we have some pipes that are back to the 1950s still. Am I reading that correct?
Or later than that.
Oh, yeah.
I see 50s on here, and I was trying to read it. So many different materials used, so the residents know, and we all know now too, over the years, obviously.
We have no more wood water main being used, just so you know.
Our oldest water main on the
I was trying to read that way.
1920 to 1940. We have about 7,223 feet of pipe that were laid back in that era.
Wow. And they're still in use?
Yes.
Wow. And those would be obviously in the older parts of the city? would be my assumption.
Like northeast side of town right now we're working on, so.
Yeah, fascinating. And also, what you explained, how much we replace per year. I think residents would be surprised. It's not cheap. It's not inexpensive. I really appreciated this. This was very good information.
Thank you.
I would like it too, somehow, to get it out to the residents. I'm not sure how. Because it is important. Because you do see stuff in the paper about surrounding communities that I will not name, going through pretty hard times with their infrastructure and how De Pere is so proactive. You're never, foolproof, but at least we make good attempts. Scott?
And that's part of the reason too, just so the board and council are aware of it. There's many years we didn't do rate increases for the sanitary sewer, but we were aggressive with the water main replacement, other infrastructure. I mean, we painted towers, we did other things. We replaced all our meters. Now we're playing catch up. Part of the reason we've had a rate case increase last year, we're doing a study this year, is to kind of make up to get us more in a positive cash flow. Because going in as part of the budget next year and even part of the rate case, we typically have been budgeting 1.2 million for water main replacements. Over the last 3-4 years, we're looking at requesting 1.5 just to try to get, instead of 8,000, 10,000, trying to get us pushing that 2%. As far as that, if that happens, and the PSC, which is going to be doing the full rate case, and they know what we want to do, will tell us what the rate's got to be. If we get to that point, well, it'll be well under 20 years. We'd have all our metal pipe replaced. So.
Yeah, this is very informative. If there's other information regarding infrastructure that we need to know, let us know, because this was very good. We approve things quite often and not really understand the full complexity of what we have out there. So this was, I really hate to say it, but I really did enjoy this. There's stuff I just didn't know. So thank you. Thanks for bringing up Alderperson Carpenter. Any other questions or comments? Alderperson Hanson?
Nope, I'm good. Great job, staff.
All right, great. Thank you again. Up next, item 7, consideration and possible action on award of contract 2521 City Hall first floor remodel. Scott?
So what you have before you is the bids we open up on July 31st regarding the remodel of first floor City Hall. The bids came in very well. We originally thought they'd be pushing well over close to 800,000. That includes furniture, because that's what our consultant had said. So what we have when we open bids, our low contractors, IEI general contractors, was an amount of 268,831. We did have some alternate deducts in there. One was for doing a full security at the front counter where they had glass and everything, and the other was create a mother's room. And the reason we put those bids in there, because we were kind of worried when the consultant says we're going to be well over 700,000. I know the finance director bonded for, I believe, the 780. But these bids coming in as low as they did, we're recommending actually that IEI be awarded the contract for the full amount of 268,831.
Yeah, this is great news. It came in well under. And if we approve this, that pretty much gets going then?
Yep, the next step after council, what'll happen is we get the contract signed and we start get going with a pre-construction. You're looking probably towards the end of September, but earliest start.
Great. I'd make a motion to approve IEI General Contractors for the City Hall first floor remodel.
I'll second it.
Motion by me.
Second.
Motion by me, second by Alderperson Carpenter. Sorry about that. Additional question or comments? All right, looks like we're all good. That said, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 8, consideration and possible action on update to the policy for full-length sanitary lateral replacement program. Chase.
Yes. So last year in our construction season, we did our pilot program for full-length sanitary lateral replacement. That's essentially pipe bursting from our sanitary sewer main up to the property owner's dwelling. This replaces the full length of the sanitary lateral. It's a pipe without breaks or leaks, so it benefits the city. We do not get inflow and infiltration of rainwater, and it benefits the homeowner. It eliminates roots and other issues that may block sewage and cause backups into their homes. So October last year, we created the policy. We approved it here at the Board of Public Works. Now that we're implementing the policy this year in construction, we found one update we'd like to add to the policy itself. The process currently is we reach out to residents, we see if they're interested in participating in the program. There's no fee if they want to participate. The city covers the cost. It's fairly comparable to what our current program is, where we relay sanitary laterals to the property line. If they're interested, then we have our contractor meet with the homeowner in their homes to see if the pipe bursting is feasible or not. And what we found this year were 3 residents that it was not feasible to enter their basement. We either struggled to pull the pipe into the home. There was a lack of basement windows to slot the pipe in through to get access into the existing sanitary sewer lateral, or there was too much finishing work that had taken place, and to demolish the basement itself would exceed the cost or the benefit for that homeowner to actually pipe burst the pipe itself. So the alternative that was brought up by our contractor this year is we could pipe burst to just in front of the home. We'd dig a pit in their landscaping. We can pull the pipe to the home itself and make our connection just outside of the home. We wouldn't pull it all the way into the basement, but 99% of that pipe has been then replaced by our contractor. So the update to the policy we'd like to make now is if our contractor deems it is infeasible to pipe burst into the home, we would then give the homeowner the option to pipe burst just outside. Any landscape restoration would be the responsibility of the homeowner to take or to cover. And then we'd have that benefit for both the city and the homeowner, where they're still getting a nice solid pipe at least to the home, and then we're eliminating a considerable amount of I&I by getting past tree roots and everything up until the basement itself. So we're talking about maybe a 5-foot difference in pipe bursting from one side of the policy to the other if we go outside the dwelling. So that's kind of what a recommendation has for you today, and it's for your consideration.
Great, thank you. Sounds good to me. Questions, comments? Alderperson Carpenter.
So when you do it on the outside of the home, your pipe burst in your liner, then how many homes, you run into a lot of them with most of them having cast iron inside the home. Did you ever, this year when you're doing them, did you find any with clay pipe?
A lot of our laterals still are clay pipe. Under the basement, it'll vary. A lot of cast iron out there too. But the laterals themselves, in the area we're currently doing work, it's a lot of clay this year.
So I don't know. I mean, there's certain building codes out there, like when you're underneath the foundation, you have to have a certain type of pipe. Am I correct or not? I mean, did they always? Because did they run clay pipe right underneath the footings when they did that back then? My question is, you're making your connection. I guess to get to the point is you're making a connection. A clay pipe is artisan to connect to.
Right.
Because it once keeps breaking and everything else. And all I'm trying to ask is, how foolproof are you now that you did the outside and you connected, and also they don't have trouble right on the inside where you made your connection?
It's still early in the process. So far, we are 3 for 3 on the ones we've attempted. We do see some clay coming into the homes, but we're seeing a lot more of them in our foundation drain disconnection program. We're having that drain tile and the floor drains themselves that are clay. The 3 that we did this year, I can't recall what the material was or what we had to connect to, but again, it would be on our contractor to make sure that connection's done properly. We still carry a warranty on our work, and everything is permitted under a plumbing permit through our building inspection staff as well. So there's a lot of different parties coordinating and making sure we're meeting all plumbing codes.
Yeah, just a concern of the connection to it. You know what I mean? When you're going inside, then you know what you have for your connection. That's all. It's just okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Other questions or comments? I'll make a motion to approve an update on the policy for full-length sanitary lateral replacement program. Motion. Seconded by Alderperson Ledvina. We waited for you for a very long time.
Yes, I did.
We tried.
Oh, thanks anyway.
Other questions or comments? Thank you, Chase. That said, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 9, consideration and possible action on intergovernmental agreement between the Town of Ledgeview and the City of De Pere for the O'Keefe Road construction. Chase again?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, save me for last. So this summer we resurfaced O'Keefe Road from County Highway PP all the way down to Red Wing Trail. O'Keefe Road is split 50-50. Half the frontage on the north side is the City of De Pere, half the frontage on the south side is the Town of Ledgeview. Concurrently to our work, our legal team was working with Ledgeview's legal team to create the Intergovernmental Agreement that's attached with the memo today. Ledgeview's already signed and approved it, and this is our first opportunity now to sign our end of things to firm up how things get paid as part of our construction. So it's roughly a 50-50 split. Curb and gutter is the only thing that really varies depending on what municipality did how much work. So.
Sounds good to me. Questions, comments, or motion? We will pause and wait just in case someone out there in virtual land wants to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Awesome. I'll second that. Motion by Alderperson Hanson, seconded by me. Any questions or comments? Alderperson Hanson, did you have anything?
Just that the project was done really well. I see it's already completed and really nicely done by the contractor. So
Very good. Thank you.
It's appreciated.
They appreciate that, and that'll be passed on. That said, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Future agenda items, does anyone have anything? If I can't see a hand go up, that means there's nothing. Just kidding. Do you have something out there, Alderperson Hanson?
Not today, surprisingly.
Oh, wow, okay, great. Everyone good here? That said, I will then make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Carpenter. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank everybody. Thanks, Alderperson Hanson. See you later.